Reggae Interviews. Word sound power.
This is Reggae Interviews here, sitting beside a really accomplished singer and songwriter. He's definitely no amateur in the music industry. He's a former student of Edna Manley College, and he is a very, very talented songwriter. He has written countless songs for many current artists that we all listen and vibe to. Names that come to mind at the moment, people like Duane Stephenson, The Messenger, Luciano and Etana. Mackeehan, welcome.
Yeah man, give thanks for having me, you know.
Always a joy to see you.
Yeah man, it's always a joy to be a part of the item experience in Jamaica when you're here too, is it?
So, we are talking about a brand new project that has just been released recently. It's a brand new EP, 6 tracks, The Notes of Passion.
Notes of Passion. Notes of Passion is what do I call this? My baby. You know, it's an idea that came from not hearing a lot of love songs. So big up all of the other artists that we are singing love music and happy music. We want to keep it that way there for a while. It's been rough for the past couple of years for the world. So we could come out with the happiness that we all desire. You know.
Yeah. And do you know what the funny thing is that listening through to the EP now, there was a single that you released before the EP called Crazy, and I almost feel as though that song Crazy was almost like a precursor, a taster of what was to come.
It's so funny because that wasn't the intention. It was just putting out music. We were working on an album, we had some good collaboration too. We have a really nice song with Kawaka Pyramid on the album also. And in the middle of working on the album, almost done, I started doing some love songs to finish the album. And in that time, it hit me. I was like, these songs are so beautiful. At this point, I think we would like to share that kind of music for a second. And I left my house the day I went to see Frankie to say the same thing, and he met me at the steps to his studio and he was like, yo, I think we should just put out some love songs first, then get back to the roots after. So you know, even though Crazy wasn't intended to be like a precursor to the EP, it ended up being just like that. Yeah.
Yes. Now, the EP itself has 6 tracks. So some of the songs that I think the lead single that was released, I think probably back in January, was the song called Wings. Wings.
Yeah. We, as you can see, we put out Wings, and the video is out also. You know, it's really nice. The feedback I've been getting since we released both the video and the song itself. So it's just taking the time to put the music together properly so that people can appreciate what we are doing inside the studio for them. The process is long enough. You know, some people feel like that you just go inside and it work out, but with Frankie it takes time. So even though the EP is now out and doing its thing, this EP was ready from September of last year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So we really just kind of waited on the perfect time to release the EP, and we released it in February, you know, early February. One of the songs was released in January, so it's really just continuing this momentum and making sure that people get a lot of songs from Mackeehan, and also see what I have to offer and the kind of energy that I'm pushing forward, you know.
So far, how do you feel the response has been, both locally in Jamaica and overseas, with the new EP? Well,
I am here with you speaking about the EP, so the feedback has been beautiful. Everybody, there's no negative feedback, especially when you're dealing with love also, you know. There's nobody going to cuss you until they say love is not a good thing. So the feedback has been excellent. There's a lot of people reaching out. We're trying to put ourselves together to go actually on the road now, so you can look out for some more information coming forward. But since the EP has been released, we did some shows in the time also. There's more shows coming up, and we just are going bask in the essence of what is happening.
Yes. I mean, speaking of essence, we were actually really lucky to see you at the Essence Music Festival, which was Frankie's Earthstrong celebrations. I think it's been going for a few years now, but this was the first time that the Reggae Interviews crew were able to witness that, and we managed to see you on stage not just once but twice.
I did. I said by myself, and then as choir which is also a part of Frankie Music Team Coalition, his family. So when it comes down to Frankie Music, it's Frankie Music, Voicemail, Lolly, Mackeehan and Choir, all one team. And I've been doing songs with Choir for a while now. We have been friends for so much years, you know. And we have a song called My Way. I think most people would know that by now. It's one of my bigger songs them outside of Jamaica also. So he was performing last, so after I was performing, so I got the opportunity to revisit the stage and share stage with someone that is really good in music also, very good vocalist, very good talent that more people needs to take recognition of, you know. So it was really nice. The festival was good overall. I haven't seen Tanya Stevens in a while. I got to see her. Duane Stephenson is really a friend of mine, so we've been going on the road since 2007. We've been traveling this world together, so it was also good just sharing the same platform with all of these artists that I have been growing up listening to and also seeing as a young artist coming through. So Essence Festival was a beautiful thing, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of footage going around of the performance and stuff, so you know.
Now Frankie Music, he seems to be like a really serious person that we've come to know in the last few years. You've been working with him. I think your debut EP Heart Music was with Frankie Music, and then the album in 2020 Time and Patience with Frankie. So you two have a really tight connection, it feels. To be honest, Frankie was the first person that gave me a chance as an artist. I've always wanted to sing, and I've been around the block a few times writing for people. I've to name even more, Jah Cure, You'll Never Find No One in This Lifetime. I've done songs for Alba Rosie. I've done songs on his album that he also featured Berries on, and that was written by me and Duane Stephenson also. And outside of that, I've been around other studios doing work, like writing songs for other artists, and Frankie was the first person that said to me, yo, you don't sing, you can't sing, you know, and presented a platform for me to express myself through my vocals and stuff. And since then I've gotten the opportunity to be on all of the major music platforms around this world because of him. So I'm more than grateful for him. He's a very serious brother when it comes on to him music, and he has grown with us as we has grown with him. And you know, I'm always and forever grateful. You know, I don't tend to forget people. I'm very humble in the way I see things also. So once anybody that has ever played a part in my career or played a part in my life, I am always and forever grateful, and I don't forget stuff because, you know, good things aren't remembered in the heart of man. You know, so we have to just always keep that part. Sometimes stuff might happen that will lead others away from the friends that they had before, but always remember the good thing and hold on to that, because if you don't hold on to the positive, then there's going to be a lot of negative in your life. And you know, I live for positive. So I'm grateful for Frankie, big up yourself. I'm grateful for Duane Stephenson for what he has done too, and Chevron Choir was the one that brought me to Frankie also. So big up to these people that they literally changed my life. I'm coming from a place named Cassava Piece where it was really rough. 8 hours growing in one bedroom, and this is not just a story that is just being told by Mackeehan because it sounds similar to others, but trust me, if you had been around and seen the original state of my existence, then you'd have understood that, like, I am so grateful. There was never a time when I was sure what the outcome in my life would have been. You know, there was no golden spoon in I and I mouth. So it was really like coming from the ground level and really trying my best to build a foundation. You know, and these people came in time, saw that I had a talent, saw that I had something to offer, and made a platform for me to offer it through. So your songwriting is second to none. What age were you when you kind of realized within yourself that there is this talent there that you have?
I learned this very, very late, very, very late. Even going into Etana Manley, I was just following my brother. Him very bright. His name is Mystic Roots. He's an artist also. Hasn't really reached his full potential in regards to having people seeing what he can do as yet. But he was the first person that stepped out of my family and tried to do something, and I was pleased with what he was doing, and I tried to emulate him in everything that he was doing. And because of that now, he went to Etana, and I used to just go to Etana to sleep on campus, you know, sleep in them room when them said we're not supposed to be over there. And you know, from there I started trying to do something in music, you know, and I realized that it was something that I could have do. It's something that was like in a McGrath, like I could play a drum set, and I tried to enroll in school, and that's basically where it starts. So it started when I was about 25, really late, really late, you know. I never had no, as I said before, there was no living in the ghetto, there was no, I never knew that I had a talent, you know. So and it wasn't like I was book smart to the level that I could say, oh, I'm going to be attorney at law, banker, whatever the situation is. I really just learned myself. The more I grew as a human being, as a person, the more I grew, the older I got, is the more I decided to transform the space that I came from into a space that I want to grow to, you know.
Yeah. So, having discovered your skills yourself as a songwriter, how did that transition go from being a person that can write, and I'm sure that you probably write things like poetry and things, to actually working with some of these artists that we've mentioned? How does that happen?
And that is where Duane Stephenson came on. He came to Etana. He was friends with my brother years before I knew him, and he came in and he saw me as I was just at school. I was just there to do chop set. I was learning the drums, and at one of the final year show, one of the students asked me to sing a Junior Kelly, you know, and I sang the Junior Kelly, and that teacher came to me and said, I think you should do double major, you know, because the drum is good, but you have a nice voice. And I never understand what she was saying, because I was like, yo, I'm not a singer. It's just that I was just messing around. But I took her advice because she was very vivid in what she was saying too. She was saying, listen to me, there's 30 odd drummers in the school, and I don't think you're better than 15, and it's 15 I'm going to take from PQ into the first year, into first year college. And I started double majoring, and I got in on vocals, you know. So getting into school from vocals now, I started, you know, singing a little bit more, writing songs for myself, not thinking that nobody would have paid me any attention either. Because even going into school, it was just, let me do something. Yeah, if it was that somebody came up with another idea, I would have tried it. Anything at this point. And then leading from there, while being around Duane Stephenson and doing a little shows on the campus every now and again, people started seeing me, and they were like, yo, you write these songs? Yes. And I remember one time Duane was working on his album, his first debut album, which was Duane Stephenson from Augustown. Yeah, and he was busy, and he called me one day and he was asking me if I could, he could send me a beat and let me try to write a song for Jah Cure. You know, that was the first song I wrote. Wow. My first song I wrote outside was a song for Jah Cure, and that song started playing on the radio, and from that song, the second song I wrote for anybody was a song called Warrior Love for Etana. And that song went really big for her and for me somewhat, you know. And then it carried on to me writing another big song, which was You'll Never Find for Jah Cure, and other people started getting involved. Dean Fraser, working with VP at that point, brought us in a lot to do writings on the side. So I was doing some songs with Jah Cure. Outside of those people, I was working with Dean, so I started writing for Luciano. I started writing some things for Tarrus Riley. Also got the chance, you know, to just express myself more. And the more I was in the studio learning that is when I started developing my craft now as an artist, producer, to say the least. So I started recording myself, finding my own musician, going into the studio, begging time because I couldn't pay for it at that time. Done by Mikey Bennett Studios. Big up to Mikey Bennett also, and that was where we started doing stuff late in the night and started producing my own stuff. So I had songs. I don't have a label. I don't have any way to put out the song, but I was recording my own self. Nobody wanted to record me, so I was like, I'm going to do this for myself until somebody pay me attention.
Yeah. And I think thinking back, actually, one of the first songs that I remember hearing from you was the Jah Army. Big song.
Yes, Jah Army. Funny story, and Frankie can speak more on this. I had a song called Jah Army when I was from 2010.
10, wow.
Yeah, and we recorded that song from then, and I had that song, and when I was introduced to Frankie, I introduced him to the song, and he wanted everything from that song. He was truly in love with it, so took over the production of everything from there. Raging Fire heard the rhythm, and they really liked the rhythm also, so they asked if they could be a part of the rhythm, and they got the rhythm, and they did a song called Jah Glory. No worry, my people, don't you ever forget. You know, and that song was actually the first song that was released from the Jah Army rhythm. My song came out in 2015 from the album Mackeehan's Heart Music. Yes. So it had Jah Army on that EP, and just now in this year Frankie released the actual Jah Army Juggling, and had some more songs on it. So that was really to show you that I've been trying to do this for a while. When Jah Army came out, it was 10 years after the song was actually written. Yeah.
So bringing it back up to date, I mean, some of my favourites on the new EP, I really love the song Old School Girl. What a vintage vibe on that.
Yeah. I like to mess with the original sound of reggae music, Alton Ellis is one of my favorite artists all time, and that's why I'm liking music. His son's music also. Christopher Ellis is an amazing artist. I am not afraid to give what is due to the artist and what they're about. So because of that, I've always wanted to show the versatility of mixing the old sound with the new sound, so we connect a little bit of both in it, and this is what I came up with. Yeah.
And I think another song that I think I keep going back to is Phone Freezes Up.
Oh, Phone Freeze Up, that is more of a new song. I've never done anything like this, Phone Freeze Up is I was messing around, and when I did that song, we were trying to shop it, and Frankie was saying, no, don't shop that song. I like that song, and I want in Jamaica there's a lot of people that like the love song, the love side of Mackeehan. So this was, I think it worked out perfectly well, and for me also, I had to step back from being too aggressive as a roots man, and say, let's sing some songs for the ladies. And when Frankie came up with the idea of keeping some of the songs that I would have given away, Phone Freeze Up was one of them. It's very sexual, for want of better words. It's not rude, it's grown people's music, grown folks music. So it's an experience that I had to share, and it has been really, really well received,
Yeah. I think the thing that I like about the EP Notes of Passion is that it kind of explores a side of Mackeehan that I myself was probably not familiar with, because you know that I'm a roots man straight through, right? And that's why we've been following your journey from the heart music onwards. But I'm listening to the new EP and thinking, do you know what, it's kind of nice to have a little bit of a different aspect, a different element of Mackeehan, because I think it allows me to understand you as a writer and a singer.
Yes. As I said before, it was very, very hard to make a decision to do some of these songs, because I am very shy when it comes on to my personality. So I keep it rootsy because me as a youth, me rough, me grow rough. So singing love songs, sometimes when I hear them back, I'm like, yo, did I write this song? This song sounds so mushy, But you have to allow yourself for show both the softer side of you and also the rootsical side of you. So Phone Freeze Up and the song, I think the song that I love the most on the EP is a song called La La La. You make my heart go la, because it's kind of jazzy.
Yes.
And you know, it's very different. It's like Sunday evening music, you know. So I try to make sure that all genres was covered. A little bit of R&B with own sound as reggae artist, a little bit of jazz with my own sound as reggae artist, and we keep it reggae too.
Reggae,
you know, Wings is reggae, Old School Girl is reggae. Those are reggae music, you know. Yeah.
I mean, to me, it sounds like you've almost stepped out of your comfort zone in making this EP, and you know the results are great because you know we're seeing a side that maybe we wouldn't have seen had you not taken that bold step to go out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, man, that's why the management is necessary. All of the young artists, they make sure they understand this. The artists, some of the times, it's always good to listen to a management and make sure you have a management team that makes sense. Don't let them follow you. Make sure that you can listen. Sometimes we feel like we have everything under control, we know everything, and then we lead ourselves astray because we're not listening. We think we don't know everything, you know. So when you have a management team, like for instance, a Frankie Music is connected with the top of the chain when it comes on to like music and production outside of the world, outside of Jamaica and in the broader scale of the world. So him coming in and say, yo, you are not paying attention to your fan base. Your fan base likes love songs. They love roots music too, you know. But you cannot just dismiss one side of the fan base just to continuously produce one set of music. So, you know, we did a lot of love songs now, but like in a second you're going to hear a brand new song from Mackeehan, and it's going to be roots, because a beer roots we have run there wait, see me, you know.
Sounds like we've got an exciting year ahead. Sounds like very, very exciting. Now, a closing message to all the people that have supported you on this journey so far, and I know that the journey is still really in its early stages, it's young, it's going to grow and grow.
Thank you so much. There's no amount of words that I can express my gratitude through. Reality is, in Jamaica, for every square, them say Jamaica has the most church in the world. We have way more artists than the churches them that is here. Every community has at least 500-700 artists in that community. So if Jamaica has 3.8 million people in Jamaica, you can safely say at least 2 million people in Jamaica are artists. So if you take your time, or take the time out to pay attention to my music, I am so grateful. You could have done something else with your time. Give thanks to all who have been sharing, been supporting, and just ask the item to just continue to share and support the music. There's so much more to come. There's so much more music. There's so much more experience for me to share with the item. So just keep up with Mackeehan and keep up with the music. I'm doing good music. I don't think I've done anything that people can look down and say, yo, we share my this. So since this is the case, share it with everybody else too, and you know, keep the vibe going, keep the energy going, keep the momentum building, same way.
Mackeehan, as always, it's a pleasure to talk to you and reason with you about your latest project. I'm sure we're going to do this again in the future. One love. Yeah, man, just go and look out for more music, and love and honor to everybody that has been paying attention. Give thanks for the interview also. It's always a pleasure to be around with the item. And if them don't know, say, I'm a virgin and a real friend, because we link even when we're not in Jamaica, you know. We keep the link, because once you find somebody that is genuine and true, you always have to just make sure them know, say, yo, we respect you, and keep it that way. Yeah. Blessings, one love.
Yes, I blessings.
Reggae Interviews. Word, sound, power.